So whenever I'm ready.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Countdown hype.
Yep. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Little Samson, and I guess the best way I could describe this game is a Mega Man game. Instead of changing weapons, you change characters for your additional power-ups. So, going over Samson here, he really isn't much. He is basically Mega Man with wall climbing abilities, which really isn't much for him. You won't see much of Samson. You'll see him during the when you walk into the stage, and that's pretty much all you'll see of him. That's how most of the characters will be in this run, because Mouse OP destroys everything, and that's about it. So Kakira is our dragon here, who can fly and has a charge attack. She's actually one of the more useful characters because her attack can do some high damage. Just so long as you can hit it on, a big enemy. Otherwise, it's more or less the same. You're not going to see much of her. You'll see her primarily during the Pink Mage Dragon fight, which is pretty much phase 2. But that's about all you'll see of her. Gam the Golem. Yeah, what can I say? He's the slow one of the group. He's meant to be the tank, and with his 4-directional punch that stops him every time he throws it, you're really not going to see him at all. Even in, like, other runs of this game. He's just sort of there. I don't know. It's not as bad as Samson, though, where you just use him to walk into the stage and you never see him ever again. But let's get on to our main hero. KO the Mouse. So, we have the fastest member of our group, does the most damage with his bombs, but unfortunately is a glass cannon with only 2 starting health and 10 max health. So, while he's got the speed, it's really risky to use him all the time until you get a proper grasp for it. And now we're heading into our first boss fight, which is Kakira. Surprisingly. And we've got the bad pattern. So, with the Kakira boss fight, we can get 2 patterns. One is, well, the one we got, which is when she hovers back and forth, which is slower, about 2 seconds slower than her other pattern, which is she just charges an attack and drops to the ground. So, it's, as far as I know, it's RNG dependent. It may be some sort of kill count thing, because there is item manipulation with kill counts, but I'm not sure if it would have anything to do with manipulating boss RNG like that. So here are our first of 4 mages. These guys all have 2 phases to them, so. Okay, so this is Bubble Cave, and it's by far the worst stage. Technically, it's not a long stage, of course, but it's just very nerve-wracking with the disappearing and reappearing platforms. But yeah. So, like I said earlier, KO does a lot of damage and dispatches of most of the bosses pretty quickly, even when they have their 2 phases and, 3.5 health bars. It's not really going to take long for it to be whittled down to nothing. So now here's where RNG can start being a fun factor, with these skeleton enemies spawning. So 3 hits, it's really not ideal, but it's just going to happen. I'd like to just take 2 or 1 usually, or 0 preferably. Ooh, that's bad. Okay, well, we didn't get the 1 cycle Cyan Mage, but I'm more worried about the Knight here, because he will one-shot me. If I got hit by him at all, he'd one-shot me. So far, things looking pretty good. So these stages are relatively straightforward in their design, just making sure to take proper damage boosts. Like this level is prioritizing them because the lava will do, I think it's 9 damage, and having 10 health and taking 9 damage is, let's just say it's not the best situation. Alright, time for the, as Primal would say, the Mega Man 2 dragon fight. Because this totally doesn't look familiar at all. Alright. I'm gonna show off a little trick here. So you can get stuck in the floor on the respawn here. Alright. Running into our last 2 stages here. So Gold Mage here is the worst fighting boss of the 4. Because Death is not the most straightforward boss. Where he spawns is pretty much random after the first appearance. So trying to get a 1 cycle is of course optimal, but as soon as it moves on to cycle 2, it's completely random where he spawns. good one cycle. Okay, so... Okay, I'm gonna take a safety strat here. Just like that, we're on our last stage. For easy, there are a few less stages. In normal, you would be doing this stage and then 2 others, or 3 others, a true final boss, and an escape level. Unfortunately, in easy, this is your final level. So, but there is a cool boss fight strategy to this last one, the Yellow Devil, or at least that's what I call him. It does involve me having almost full health like I have now. I need to damage boost off of him twice, which does 4 damage, which will be 8 damage total. And I have 9 health currently, so let's just hope that his RNG cooperates with me. Because depending on where he starts the fight, it could really influence. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, here we go. Okay. That's bad. Alright, get ready on time. Sorry. And time. So, in a very short amount of time, we were able to complete this game. According to my timer, I had a 12:07, which is pretty close to... It's just 30 seconds past world record. So,
That was
actually
pretty
quite
solid
surprised with
run,
that.
actually.
It was. The gold mage really was the only struggle there, and then of course missing the one cycle on the final boss. But that was surprisingly solid.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh my god, my hands were cold for nothing.
Thank you, XDragon. Great run. And a great game, little Samson.
Thank you.
Actually, I need to do that.
Yeah,
do yourself a favor. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people blind race this, and it makes me sad because they blind race it, and it's such a great game, but they never come back to it. There's not many people who actually run this game. The main ones are me and Primal. I have the record for any percent easy, and Primal has any percent normal. And there's some others that are scattered around, like Infinite Mystery and CT Conqueror. But as far as I know, there's only like 4 or 5 of us that actually run this game. And I'd really like to see more people doing it.
It is a really fun game to blind race if people get a chance, and hopefully that brings more people to the game.